close. But appreciate your being with us today. Let me introduce myself. I'm Catherine Fox with Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, the Vice President of Public Affairs and Destination Development. My role is to work with the Ironman team and the localities to bring this event to fruition and really see that the logistics and the opportunity to work with volunteers, staff, and the athletes and welcome everyone to this region and really look for a successful event today, actually in 2021, 22, and 23, and perhaps beyond. So we appreciate everybody who is with us today because without you, this is not possible, and the number of people that are going to help us bring this together and pull this off. So I want to introduce our race director for the Carilion Clinic IRONMAN 70.3 Virginia's Blue Ridge. That is Brant Burnett, who is here today to run through a little bit of the race itself, some of the components and some inside information, because I'm thinking that information continues to evolve as we get closer to race day. But wanted to turn it over to him to kind of give an overview of Ironman and welcome him and look forward to working with him on this event.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, as Catherine mentioned, it's good to be 18 days away. It's been quite a while coming, but we're excited here and just wrapping up some last minute details and such over the next few weeks here. So it's good. Just to give a quick background, I do know some of you guys on the call here, but we as the Ironman group, we do produce about 250 events across the globe and have just over 1 million athletes across all of our different brands and events. So we don't only do triathlons, we do rock and roll running series, some mountain biking events, trail running, some other kind of one-off events. So we do have a large portfolio of events that are all across the globe. So it's extremely exciting to be coming here to Roanoke this year. I think it's a great community, a great atmosphere and environment there. So we're super excited. Our athletes are excited. You've probably seen there's so many people that have been coming already from out of town in advance of the race just to come train and view the area. And so that's ultimately our goal is, not only to bring people here for race week, is to bring them back, afterwards and even prior to the event. So it's good just to work with the community as a whole. So we appreciate it, and everything that you guys do there in the community, just locally, whether it's, just helping promote the event or just coming out and seeing it and taking in the event kind of atmosphere is always welcoming, and our athletes do appreciate it when they walk into communities that have those open arms. So we do appreciate it. Catherine, if you want to jump to the next slide. So just quickly, I wanted to touch on some of the best practices that we have for our events. We do have a global medical advisory board that is an independent board that creates our medical guidelines, and over the past year and a half created our safe return to racing guidelines, which are centered around these 6 pillars of enhanced hygiene, screening, education, density reduction, touch point minimization, athlete self-reliance, and community partnership. And so with all of these, we've worked with communities to develop safe plans. We have worked with our athletes and had good success with our athletes buying in at our events. Our goal here is we want to make our communities safe that our athletes are racing in, but we also want to bring in safe athletes. And so we have the capability, we've developed some internal tools that we can identify where our athletes are coming from relative to what's occurring there in the community. And so we're able to bring in safe athletes if we see the data. At the same time, we're bringing them into a safe community. So just working with all the different localities and agencies, it's really just our opportunity to put safe events back together. Catherine, you jump to the next slide. Last year, we did produce 23 events after kind of COVID hit across the globe. And so far this year, we've actually produced now 4 events in Q1 and Q2, and I'll host another like 12 or 13 here over the next few months. And then our back half of the season, in summer and fall and actually into winter, gets extremely hectic here in North America. So again, we've had good success with our protocols and guidelines. Our communities, have welcomed them, and we've had good success from them and feedback from them as well. And our athletes buy in because they want to race at the end of the day, and so they're willing to abide by all the measures, protocols, in order to get back to racing. So all in all, it's been a good rollout of our return to racing guidelines. So just looking at the kind of event schedule for the race coming up, in 2 weeks here, we'll actually start building out at Rivers Edge Park, which is kind of our main home for the race. Is going to be what we consider Ironman Village, and that hosts, our official merchandise store. That's where athletes will have to go to register and check in and get all their registration materials. We have a bike store that is there. Star Hill will have a beer garden there as well. And then we have all of our local and national partners and vendors that'll be coming to the event. That Ironman Village is open on Friday, June 4th from 12 to 7. And again on Saturday from 9 to 5. It is all free and open to the public, so the public can come down, even if you're not racing. There's other vendors and partners there that aren't, triathlon specific. And so we welcome anybody to come on down. Again, to come out, experience the event, see what it's all about. Most of y'all are probably familiar with Star Hill down there. Come down and have a beer with them down there. So it's every athlete has to go through there. They bring their family or spectators. And it's really just a good, opportunity for the community to kind of take in the event and see how things kind of operate. So throughout the week prior to that Friday and Saturday, we will start building out. And if you happen to drive by Rivers Edge Park, you'll start seeing some tents and trailers roll in, actually on Memorial Day, and slightly prior to that. So, we'll kind of be building stuff out, but that Friday and Saturday is when things will start to, liven up down there, and when the village will actually open up. Catherine, if we jump to the next slide. And then we look at, actually race day, which is Sunday, June 6th. Race start is at 6:30 a.m. We are transporting every athlete from Rivers Edge to Carvin's Cove, which is the host of the swim start and the first transition. So all of our athletes will have to take a shuttle bus from Rivers Edge to Carvin's Cove. We are not allowing spectators at Carvin's Cove due to the size, up there in the parking restraints. So what we are doing is working out a live stream that'll be back at Rivers Edge Park that will live stream the swim and swim start and actually part of the bike course. And then, people can view the live stream there. And then once the athletes come in off the bike at Rivers Edge Park, they'll be front and center and can view their athletes right there at transition 2. And then, all along the run course on the Roanoke River Greenway. So race start at 6:30, and then our final athlete will be in through the finish line at 4 p.m. So it is a long day. Athletes they have 8.5 hours to complete the event. So they're out there, exercising for that entire duration. So, any support and out in the community and stuff that we can give them is always appreciated, and they certainly, love to do that. So just kind of a little, diagram here. So as mentioned, Carvin's Cove will be swim start and the first transition. And then Rivers Edge Park will be home to the Ironman Village, the second transition from the bike to the run, the finish line, and then our operations compound. So for this event, we are operating kind of at 2 separate places. We do have some events where, one location houses all of that, but for this event, we kind of chose these 2 locations as, good ways to, experience all the different areas in the cities and counties, and then, relative to the bike course and whatnot. So that's why we are operating out of 2 different areas for this event. And then just, again, kind of just quickly on the timeline here. So Friday, the Ironman Village is open from 12 to 7. Athletes do have to check in their bikes as well during that time. So athletes will have chosen by this time an actual registration time slot that they have to come in on either Friday or Saturday, pick up their materials, check in their bike. and drop off their bike, and we'll transport them to Carbons Cove. So Ironman Village is 12 to 7 on Friday, Saturday 9 to 5. Again, it's all free and open to the public, so anybody can come on down and view all the local and national partners there, and take a look at the merchandise store. And then on Sunday there, so that actually time there is just a typo. It's the Ironman Village is open from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just to host that live stream, and then it'll be active until 4 p.m. when our last finisher comes through. So, and then just on race day, a little bit more like detailed timeline. We'll have athletes start showing up race morning at our parking areas at 3 a.m. They will have had to pre-purchase a parking pass for one of 4 different locations that we're using around Rivers Edge Park. So they'll start arriving, anywhere between 3 and 5 o'clock. At that same time is when our athlete shuttles will be moving, between 3:15 and 5 a.m. from Rivers Edge Park to Carbons Cove, so that we can get a on-time race start of 6:30 at the Cove. We do expect all of our athletes to be in the water by 7:30 and the final athlete out of the water by 8:40 a.m. And then just on the bike course, we expect the first person out of the water at about 6:50 and starting the bike course. And then our last athlete on the bike course at about 9 a.m. leaving Carbons Cove. Our last athlete into transition 2 at Rivers Edge Park from the bike to the run will be about 1:40. But during that time, our first athlete that we expect to be on the run course should be about 9:10 a.m. And we expect our first finisher to be at the finish line at about 10:20. And then the last finisher through the finish line to be closed at 4 p.m. And that's due to the 8.5-hour cutoff for the event in total. Just a little overview of kind of Rivers Edge Park. As you can see, the new soccer fields that are there. So just east of those soccer fields is where the Ironman Village will be. Just north of the village is the transition 2, where athletes will come in off the bike and then start the run course. The run course will go kind of south, just right next to the new soccer fields, and then hop onto the pedestrian bridge to get onto the greenway. They'll do their run course, and then they'll actually come back across that bridge into that new parking area there, and cross the finish line on the west side of the new soccer fields that are there. And then just kind of dropped in the course maps here for frame of reference. Again, swim course is 1.2 miles out Carbons Cove Reservoir. Just a three turn course. 1.2 miles. Again, that'll be starting at 6:30. The bike course there, 56 miles. So it'll come out of Carbons Cove. It'll head out east on Highway 11 through Botetourt counties, town of Troutville, town of Buchanan. We'll go south on 43 and up the large climb up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. And then we'll ride the Blue Ridge Parkway for about 20 miles west, all the way back into the town of Vinton via Route 24 in Washington. And then we come back into the city of Roanoke and down Jefferson back into Rivers Edge Park. So 56 miles. Again, we get some areas of, a lane closure in there, or roads that are completely closed to traffic, which we'll kind of touch on here shortly. But this was, again, one of our opportunities to, share with our athletes just all the different areas of Virginia's Blue Ridge, get to experience all the different communities there. It is a very difficult course. There is, a 2,000-foot elevation gain climb on Route 43, as you guys are all probably aware, over the stretch of 5 miles, which is one of the more difficult courses on our circuit. So it's about 4,000 feet of elevation gain across the entire bike course, which again is one of the highest elevation gains on our circuit. But we do get the offset of the Blue Ridge Parkway overlooks and views after they make that climb. So the rewards will pay off the pain of the climb. So And then once they get back in Rivers Edge Park, they'll start the run course. It is a 2-loop course, 13.1 miles, all along the Roanoke River Greenway. They'll come out of Rivers Edge Park, and they'll actually head out east first to go to Piedmont Park, and then they'll come back west and go through Smith Park, Wasania, and then Vic Thomas, and then do that loop all over again. And then on that second loop, as they're coming back east, we'll go to the finish line, which will be in that Rivers Edge Park, just west of the new soccer fields that are there. So from a just kind of community relations standpoint, over the last like month or so, and actually prior to that, we've been making some outreach to businesses and churches that are along the route, just to notify them of, traffic impact, and working with them on, their hours of operation or church services, and seeing how we can help them, operate within that impact, and help that message it out to their constituents. So we've been working with them over the last few weeks, and actually a few months prior, starting actually this Friday through Sunday. You'll start to see some variable message boards and static signs being placed all throughout the bike course, on Reservoir Road up to Carbons Cove, and part of the run course as well. That'll just be some notices that'll start going out between Friday and Sunday of this week, just notifying of impacts, delays, so that we can help get the message out to residents that typically use those routes, or to let them know about the event on Sunday, June 6th. And if they do need to get somewhere, to either kind of expect delays or seek an alternate route. But those will go out this weekend. Starting next week, a mailer will go out to every resident and business along the route or in the near vicinity. That again will just notify them of some of the impacts. It'll have a QR code on there so that they can pull up a complete traffic impact document that has, road closure information on to the minute of when it would close, when it would reopen, no parking zones, access lanes. All of that is on our website already. And then we'll work with a key group just here over the next week to help us push out that information, via social and other means that we can. So that traffic notice piece is always super helpful to help us, get the message out to residents that might not know that it's coming. And then race week, we'll install no parking signs in those no parking zones. There's a few of them in the town of Buchanan, town of Vinton, and in the city of Roanoke. And then we'll also put out just some additional, kind of yard stake signs on some of those key roads, just again notifying of the closure coming on Sunday, June 6th, in those time windows. So that's kind of our piece here over the next 2.5 to 3 weeks leading into the event. One of the really unique things that we're able to do is a program that we developed actually just recently, that's called I Am Local, and it's really our way to engage local businesses there in the community. It's a free promotional program that businesses have the opportunity to sign up for if they want. They can, put in a perk or incentive or a discount. And again, it's really our way of messaging and getting the word out there about these local organizations and communities, and helping them support them locally. So what we do is we compile them, and then we're working in conjunction with Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge to compile or to have a hosting webpage that'll list all of these businesses, and there's an example of it, and whatever their perk might be. As you can see there, some of them is just a congrats on your weekend. If you show your medal, you get 10% off your order. Show your volunteer t-shirt, you get a free appetizer, that type of thing, or free massage service. And so we push that out to our athletes in the athlete guide. It's in our athlete briefing. And then we push it, out on social again. And it's really just a free, way for local businesses and community organizations there to help get their name out to, 2,500 athletes, and, plus, their 5,000 plus more, family or friends or spectators that are coming along with them. And so again, we try to drive some businesses or some business to local organizations there from our athletes. You know, they want to stay in the communities and have to go eat and looking for activities either pre or post the event. And so these are good ways just to help, you know, push our athletes into the communities and more. And sorry, just going back, that is listed on our page as well. On the Visit VBR page as well, there's that link if there are, you know, local partners and businesses that want to be a part of that program, they can fill out the form, and we'll place them on there. And then just at the Ironman Village, there's some contact info for, you know, again, any partners or businesses or organizations that want to be part of the Ironman Village. There are still some spots available. Those timelines there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are when the village would be open. But again, it's just an opportunity if anybody wanted to be a part of the village. All the athletes have to go there. They bring their family and friends. With it being a very you know, first time racer friendly event and also a first year event here, you know, we expect to be at a larger crowds there throughout the village throughout the race weekend. So there's some contact info there. If you click on that more info about Ironman Village, it'll also take you to a link that you can actually look at, you know, different opportunities that are available. And then one of the, you know, big pieces of the event is the volunteers. We honestly can't do these events without our volunteers, and so we're super appreciative of the work. My volunteer director there, Sarah Klemenchik, who is a great, you know, partner and has been instrumental piece of our team. She's been working to get 1,500 volunteers, you know, any time from Wednesday of race week through Sunday of race day. And there's all sorts of different, you know, shifts and roles that are available. We're still, you know, in need of some volunteers, particularly for race day. We do have a community grant program that is available through the Ironman Foundation for, you know, nonprofits or organizations that do have a volunteerism component as part of their, you know, curriculum. So that they can apply for that grant, and then they do receive some grant funding post event there. In 2020, we did provide over $2 million to 75 different race communities, and that was in a year of, obviously we didn't operate many events, so that's one of our, you know, opportunities for us to kind of create and leave a legacy there in our race communities through that Ironman Foundation. That QR code and that volunteer sign up link goes directly to that web page that's shown. And you can see all the different roles and times that we're still looking for some folks. And so if anybody's interested, or you have groups that might be interested in wanting to volunteer together, or groups that want to volunteer and be part of that community grant program from the foundation, Sarah's contact info is there. You can send her a note. You can also sign up just via that link or that QR code, and then connect with Sarah afterwards. And then this is just the landing page on the visitvbr.com website. So it's just visitvbr.com/Ironman. In addition to our event website, it's a great just local tool there that has all the information about the event, has the links to hotel and accommodations there in the region, has the I Am Local landing page connection to there as well, and just some additional race information. So there's a few resources that, you know, if people are looking for information, but it's through the Ironman.com, you know, event webpage, or the visitvbr.com /Ironman page, that they can go there for details. And then this is just a welcome poster that Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge designed, that we're able to, you know, share if anybody, you know, wants to download it and print it off or use it in their place of business. Catherine, remind me, this is on your guys' website, correct? For them
Yes.
to go in?
Yes, go to visitbbr.com/Ironman, which you just noted, and you'll see as you scroll down, opportunity to download an 8.5 by 11 or a 11 by 17.
Yeah, and again, you feel free to go and download it. I forgot to mention, just with that I Am Local program, if you did sign up for that, you also will get a I Am Local participating location poster that we'll give to you, that you can post in your window front if you'd like. But these welcome posters, again, our athletes love when they walk in the community with open arms. And it really makes them feel welcome, and especially after the event. That's what really helps us drive athletes back into communities. It's just that feeling of welcomeness, kind of wherever they stop. And so I've felt it there since I've been visiting Roanoke over the past 3 years, every time I come. So I don't expect anything less. Our athletes will feel the same there. I think it's just a staple of the community in general, but it's just an addition. If you guys want to post those up, you're more than welcome to. We will also have some little activations and welcome pieces at the airport for anybody that's flying in. Those will actually go up starting next week. So if people are flying in, or if you happen to be just visiting the airport, want to stop in, kind of actually before security, and then also right outside baggage claim, there'll be some kind of little activation pieces. So more than welcome to stop in there and take a look at them. And that's all really all that I have. On here is just Sarah Klemenchik, volunteer director's information again, her contact info. If you were interested in that Ironman Village piece, contact info is there as well. The I Am Local sign up link is there, and then Catherine's information is there as well, if you need it. But really, again, I said it before that ever since I've been coming to Roanoke now over the past 3 years, I do love coming there every single time. The community in the region there is great. They've really been able to, anything that whatever they've wanted to help with, they've been able to, and it's just been a really good partnership for the last 3 years. So we're excited. Next 18 days prior to race start, our staff will start to get there actually Thursday prior to Memorial Day. So we have some staff that'll be flying in a week plus ahead of time, but all of our staff are super excited to come here for a first year event and experience something new on our circuit, and really incorporate Virginia's Blue Ridge and Roanoke into our Ironman family of host communities. So again, we can't thank you guys enough, just from a community standpoint and welcoming us there. And so anything that we can do to help on your guys' end, we're willing to help on that end. So I guess outside of that, Catherine, if you have anything, or we can open up to questions if people have any.
So thank you, Brant. That's a great overview, and I appreciate it. We've got a diverse group here on this Zoom, but thank everybody for being a part of that. And Robin just sent me a question about the posters. I'll send that. I'm trying to put it in the chat. If not, I'm definitely going to use it in the follow-up for everyone who's registered. We'll make sure that you get the link to the poster, both sides. We are also going to try to get those out to the copier, and we're going to try to get a handful of those done. So we'll have some here if you want them. We should be able to give you some as well. So that's no problem at all. One of the questions that we get a lot, because Carbons Cove is the first ever opportunity to swim, we get the question of what's going to be the water temperature. And that has come up a few times. And as a swimmer, that's like, okay, do I wear a sleeveless wetsuit? Do I wear a long sleeve? That's been kind of the question. But according to the Water Authority's published average monthly surface water temperature at 69 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in June. So that's surface. You don't want to go too much further than the surface, but it's going to be definitely a chilly start at 6:30 in the morning. We know that the temperatures are going to start getting into those 90s starting this weekend. So everybody's excited about the water temperature possibly even getting a little bit warmer. But really incorporating 3 legs of this race that couldn't have been done without really the Carbons Cove piece of it. The National Park Service coming on board and allowing us to use the parkway. I think it's important just to note that Ironman has done their part in timing out the race so that they do not block roads any more than any more than necessary. So there's a team of people who will follow the athletes if they don't meet the course time. So they will be taken off the course. But it's just a way of being respectful to the number of roads that are required to be regulated and or shut down. So that's important. That's a big piece of the volunteer need. Not to mention there's a lot of volunteers who are needed at 3:30 in the morning. So that's an early riser. We've got folks like the county administrator, Dan O'Donnell, who's going to be out on the water in a canoe or kayak, and he's going to be helping out, I guess a kayak. He's going to be helping out with some of the swim. We've got lifeguards from the Y who are coming over. I know they're helping out. I know the town manager, Pete Peters, he is grabbing his wife and family, and they're helping out too. There's folks who are doing aid stations along the way. So there's a lot of layers of folks who are helping out, and it's amazing. But I really want to say thanks to the hotel community because they have really stepped up for us in a big way, helping to allot rooms for these athletes, these families, these spectators. We appreciate your support because without you, again, that's another strong component. John Shaner has been the troop leader on all of this. We appreciate all that he's done to help make this possible because that's incredibly helpful. There is so much opportunity for touch points. The hotels being a big part of that, Ironman Village being a part of that, the restaurants, the retail areas, and our attractions. We have a great opportunity to welcome folks to our region. And this is, we appreciate everything that folks are doing. We know that the athletes are big in carb loading the night before, whether that's what they might be interested in, just to give you some idea if the hoteliers happen to have some great spots to recommend. Also getting up at 2:30 in the morning and being out at River's Edge by 3:30, you're going to hear there's going to be a bit more commotion at your hotel than normal at 2:30 in the morning. So that's going to be another aspect of that, but know that the bikes will already be staged at Carbons Cove. So your part in those bikes coming in probably just initially the first night or the first day or what have you. And then they'll be sent over to Carbons Cove on their, I guess on their time day or when they're scheduled. So that's an important part. But I mentioned to a lot of our folks, if you are seeing those athletes get up early, they're looking for a grab and go bag. If you happen to have water or a bagel or yogurt or something that's just a healthy snack for them to grab and go, that would be awesome, and really above and beyond. So we appreciate everything that you guys are able and willing to do for the athletes, and excited for this inaugural year and making a great impression for this year and years to come. So I'll leave it at that and open it up to questions you guys might have, and I'll check the chat while I'm doing that. But if you guys want to unmute and ask any questions, please feel free to do so. Oh, Robin Ferguson, you're going to be at T1. Yes, great. What's your role there?
I am going to assist the athletes through to the bikes at 3:30 in the morning.
Very good. What time is your shift?
3:30 to 9.
3:30 to 9. And you'll be asleep by 10.
Yes. I don't know. I think the adrenaline will be going. I'll be out on course to cheer them on down the line.
Well, we appreciate you and many folks like you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll have some coffee and stuff for you at Carbons Cove. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think Chris has a question in reference to hotel lodging. Do you feel there are more athletes that will end up needing reservations? Brant, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, so so we have 2,500 athletes that will race this year, and they're coming in from actually 49 out of 50 states. So we know some were sitting back, just kind of waiting to make sure that the event would happen. Well, over on Friday, and a note will go out today or tomorrow for athletes to actually choose their check-in time slots for registration. And so we would expect that they haven't, done so already, that kind of, checking in and choosing your time slot of registration will let them, let them know that the race is occurring. It has been occurring for a while. They just wanted to make sure. So I would expect that, when that email goes out for them to select their check-in times, that they do feel that the race is coming, and it's now 18 days away. So I would expect there's still reservations to come.
Any other questions? Is anybody in charge of the weather? Landon said he's in charge of the weather. Well, with that, know that you can always reach out to anyone here on our team. Feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions. I'll be and we will follow up with everyone here who's registered for this particular presentation. With the recording, we'll also follow up with a few of the resources like the I'm Local program, the posters, and really how to get more information about Ironman Village, and just and also ways to volunteer in case there's folks that you want to share that with. I know that they would love to see more folks come on and help out. Brant, anything else you want to add?
No, again, I just, thank you. Obviously, Visit Virginia Blue Ridge, Carilion Clinic, and, obviously all the different communities, and agencies and jurisdictions that we've been, working with over the past 2 years. Again, it's been good to go there and visit and eat all the good restaurants, drink all the good local breweries that are there. So it's good. We're super excited. Like I said, our staff is really excited about getting there and just taking in the region, because it's not something that we get at all of our events. So we are super excited. And again, thank you just on behalf of us, and to all the localities and communities there.
Great. We look forward to welcoming you and excited for race day in 18 days.